Vanakkam. This is Hyder Ali Sayyed from Asivagam, United Under.
Chapter 1. Let there be light. The symbol refers to Shivan Trident and Pandyan Trident. Chapter 1. Language. Chapter 21, verse 31 Quran. I read, He taught Adam the name of all things, then he presented them to the angels and said, Tell me the names of these if you say it's true. From this verse of Quran, we can conclude that Adam was only taught an oral language. The question arises is that what was that language in which God taught to Adam? Second question arises what language did God use to communicate with Dev and Rakshas or angels or demon? From Bible and Quran, we find that there was a conversation between God and angels. There was a conversation between God and Lucifer from demon race, and there was a conversation between God and Adam. The question is, what was the divine language? In today's world, we find four languages who are claiming to be the divine language. First is Tamil, second is Sanskrit, third is Hebrew, and fourth is Arabic. People who are claiming that Arabic is the divine language and Adam spoke Arabic, and during the death, when a person dies, the dead angel will come and ask question in grave in Arabic language. Remember, Ibrahim spoke Aramaic language. The language is Aram, is from Aram civilization. Aram is a Tamil word, and Aram civilization is a Tamil colony. Arabic language came later on, so nowhere Arabic can be called divine language or God language or first language. Now coming to Hebrew language. Again I say Ibrahim never spoke Hebrew language. Ibrahim spoke Aramaic language, the language of Aram civilization. Aram is a Tamil word. Aram in Tamil means virtue. Even Jesus Christ spoke Aramaic language. Aramaic can be said as sister language of Tamil. Did Moses spoke Hebrew language? It is said that Jews and Samaritans spoke Hebrew language on the land of Israel. Wikipedia says, I quote, the earliest example of written Hebrew date back to 10th century BC. Nearly all the Hebrew Bible is written in biblical Hebrew, with much of its present form in the dialect that scholars believe flourished around the 6th century BC during the time of Babylonian captivity. For this reason, Hebrew has been referred by Jews as Lason HaKodesh, meaning the holy tongue. So history says biblical Hebrew dialect flourished around the 6th century BC during the time of slavery under Babylonian captivity. Babylonian captivity lasted for 70 years, from date 608 to 538 BC. Further, they say, I quote, 10 lost tribes, 10 of the original 12 tribes of Israel, under the leadership of Joshua, took the possession of the Canaan and the promised land after the death of Moses around 930 BC. The 10 tribes formed the independent kingdom of Israel in north, and two other tribes, Judah and Benjamin, set kingdom of Judah in south. Let's check the history. Moses' timeline is around 1400 BC to 1201 BC. So around after death of Prophet Moses is in 1201 BC, there was a split between the 12 tribes into northern kingdom of Judah and Benjamin, and other 10 tribes headed by the Joshua called southern kingdom. The question comes, who was the first king appointed by children of Israel among the children of Israel, and what was the timeline as per the Bible and the Quran? So Saul became the first king of children of Israel for all the 12 tribes of house of Israel. Timeline is around 1037 to 1010 BC, and some historical says that 1021 to 1000 BC. Remember, all 12 tribes united under Saul when they saw the Ark of Covenant. Quran chapter 2, 246 verse to 251. contains clearly says and corrects the history of the first king Saul. How are the how Ark of Covenant united the 12 tribes. Later, David killed Goliath, and David appointed him the next king, and his bloodline, which holds the rank of administration among the family of Abraham. The question comes when from when the first king appointed by God among children of Israel was Saul, and his timeline is around 1037 to 1010 BC. So they talk about northern kingdom and southern kingdom of 12 tribe of house of Israel around 1400 BC to 1201 BC. So when first king was appointed among family of Abraham was Saul. So where is the question that there was a kingdom, southern kingdom and northern kingdom established after death of Moses. God has appointed among the family of Abraham. The first king was Saul, which date back to 1000 BC. So there is no northern or southern kingdom, and it's people should understand the deception of the fake preachers. Becomes a fabricated story. So Hebrew too does not fall in the category of divine language. Contestant for the divine language is Sanskrit. Do I have to say anything regarding the Sanskrit language? The common thing about Sanskrit and Hebrew language is that they both belongs to the Caucasian settlers. Both this language, Sanskrit language, was used to corrupt the history of the Tamil Pandyan colonies, and Hebrew language was used to corrupt the history of family of Abraham of Semitic black race. And the last common thing between Sanskrit and Hebrew is that both the language was only spoken by the priestly class. Priestly cult is not the tradition way of life, because we don't need any mediator. Connect with the God. Now coming to the last contestant, that is Tamil. Is Tamil divine language? Remember, Adam in Tamil denotes A means God, Dam means breath. Adam itself is a Tamil word. I quote from Quran where we can find two Tamil words. One is Adam and other is Vanakkam. Vanakkam means I bow to the soul which is in you. Quran chapter 15 verse 29. I read, therefore, when I have properly fashioned him and breathed into him a soul of myself, fall down before him in prostration. Here, God is not telling angels and demons to prostrate to man, but to the soul which is in human body, that is God's particle. But Lucifer, among the demon race, only saw the material aspect, not the spiritual aspect, and refused to prostrate. I quote from Quran chapter 15 verse 32 to 33. Said, O God, O Lucifer, what happened to you that you stayed apart from those who prostrated? Lucifer answered, it does not befit me to prostrate myself to a human whom you have created from sounding clay made out of black smelly mud. So so it's very clear that Tamil is the divine language. Tamil is the first oral Tamil was taught to Adam, and written form of Tamil was given to first Siddha, that is Shivan, and he became the first administrator, also the first Pandyan. So all information on all technology was given to Shivan, and later each profession was given one subject to other sons of Adam. This is how the mother colony was came to existence, and that civilization was highly most advanced civilization, which the modern science don't want to give credit to the Tamil Pandyan Sangam era. That's why they say it's a alien build all those civilization. Which is divine language is Tamil, not Sanskrit, not Hebrew, not Arabic. The real history can be brought only through Tamil language, and people should try to understand and decode all this Sumerian civilization, Mari civilization, Aram civilization with the help of Tamil language, not with Hebrew.
Due to four beastly regime disguised as Muslim world. Satyugam possible.